Great news! There's a quick way you can save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Hello and welcome. This is the end of the fireworks show here, the noisy end to the week. Mina Kimes with us. What do you like on the show today, Mina?
Football's back, so we're going to complain about it.
All right. Well, Papi was still celebrating. She's going to complain. Dale, Papi.
It's a time to freak out about the helmet rule.
So for those who are blissfully unaware, this offseason the NFL implemented a new rule broadening referees' ability to penalize players for tackling by leading with their head first. Last night was the first example of the rule in action during the Hall of Fame game between the Ravens and Bears, and didn't go great. So there were 4 plays in which it seemed like the helmet rule was being implemented, and the announcers mentioned the helmet rule several times. But then this morning, when I woke up, I found out actually only a couple of those plays were the helmet rule. Then later I read, no, actually 3 of them were the helmet rule. I can only conclude at this point that nobody actually knows when the helmet rule was or is ever going to be implemented. And that is the problem with this rule. Not necessarily that it exists at all, but the lack of clarity around it, which is a huge problem for the NFL because based on the conversation last night, both on and off the screen, everybody is going to blame the helmet rule anytime anything happens in football this season, and they should have gotten out in front of it and tried to clarify it first.
She said that's the problem with the rule, but also there are problems all around those problems that complicate things. Chris Collinsworth during the Super Bowl last year didn't know what a catch was. Chris Collinsworth is investing in advanced metric sites because he knows football so well. He was a wide receiver. He's confused by a Super Bowl catch. Now we don't know what a tackle is either. And all the while, the dirty secret that all of this is protecting, football's got to fix their violence and concussion and injury problem. And the way to do it is to make these rules. And that's going to get people howling. Even Louis Riddick is going to get upset because they love the candy-addicted taste of what they've already gotten. And it was the good stuff, and this is softer.
Yeah, and I think the net effect of this is it's going to be harder and harder to play defense in the NFL. And by the way, it's no coincidence that we're seeing these mega contracts given to wide receivers, and 2 of the best defenders in the NFL still haven't gotten paid.
Good for us, by the way, because if there's an offensive explosion, we're all here for that. We don't want Ravens 6-3.
I got a rule. No more helmets, just hats. The Dallas Cowboys, they have to wear cowboy hats.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, the Browns, they have to wear brown hats.
Okay, we're still doing
I mean, really? Brown hats. Okay, just hats that are brown.
The Chargers, they have to wear iPhone chargers on their head.
Yeah, that would be good. They should just wrap around their head like a bandana.
The Dolphins, they can wear paper hats over their heads. No, paper bags, I'm sorry. The Dolphins, they could wear paper bags over their heads.
All right, run that just as it was so you can see how the machine works.
Did Andy Reid accidentally or intentionally take a shot at Alex Smith?
This is interesting. The Chiefs were doing a lot of winning, no big winning. They got rid of Alex Smith. They drafted Mahomes, and Mahomes has been throwing interceptions in practice. He's got a bigger arm. He takes more chances. And here's Andy Reid taking out Alex Smith by trying to defend Mahomes.
No, he's been doing a great job. You know, I know people wrote about the interceptions. I told you at the beginning of camp, I don't care about all that stuff. I want him to test the offense. It's so important. It's so important that we give him a ton of plays. I want him testing it. If you don't have the intestinal fortitude to go test it, you're going to be one of these quarterbacks that checks it down every time. And that's not what it's all about.
So that sounds like a shot at Alex Smith.
Oh, no, it is. It is a shot at
Alex Smith. Let me clarify something, and this is going to kill a lot of jokes that I've made, jokes that have been made on this show. Alex Smith is actually a really good deep passer. It's true. Okay, so last year, statistically, he threw for more yards deep than any quarterback in the NFL. Now you're going to say, well, Tyreek Hill. Even if you take out the passes to Tyreek Hill, he still had the best passer rating on deep throws in the NFL. Andy Reid knows that. Unlike most of America, he knows that Alex Smith is actually not a check-down Charlie. I don't think he was taking a shot at him. I think he was, however, being a little bit defensive about his young quarterback because Pat Mahomes is walking into a difficult situation in Kansas City. The expectations are very high after what Alex Smith did last year. Andy Reid just wants to protect him.
She did a little bit of myth busting there, looking through the advanced data. That's not something a lot of people know about Alex Smith. You know why? Because how much he checks down. All of us have watched him season after season. There's no one you associate with the check down more than Alex Smith. People call him Captain Checkdown. Andy Reid built an offense that to all of us, before the skill guys got there last year, looked very conservative, tailored to all of his limitations. If he wasn't talking about Alex Smith, he was talking about somebody who plays just like him.
Andy Reid always likes to go deep on the passes, man.
He does?
Yeah.
Man. Oh, of course he does.
There we go.
This is why he's against the check down, because big number 34. This was his athletic glory day. Look, hold on a second. Let's go back there just a second. I want you guys to drink in number 22 here. Like, what kind of chance does number 22 have at life right now when he sees this thing happening in front of him?
It's like me sitting next to you.
Oh, unnecessary. Really so unnecessary. I don't have that piece of paper.
12. The inside story of Tom Brady.
Thank you. Thank
12.
you, Mina. I got it. What?
12. This,
okay, let me borrow your
12.
Thank you.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Thank you.
See that?
What's that? Okay.
12.
All right.
Yeah, 12.
All right.
The inside story.
All right.
What do you make of the deal Fidel Goodell reportedly offered to Tom Brady during the Deflategate?
Reportedly, because it was in a book. What's the name of the book, Papi?
12.
Yes, it's 12. The inside story of Tom Brady's fight for redemption, a perfectly cliched sports title. But in that book, one of the things that was revealed, and it's interesting, is that Brady could have gotten out of a suspension if he'd simply agreed to a $1 million fine and the admission that the equipment staff was deflating footballs. And Brady did not go for it, and it makes him look honorable. If you believe this reporting, Brady took the hit for his equipment guys because he believed they did nothing wrong. All he had to do was blame it on someone else, and he didn't. If that's all true, you may understand a little better why Brady is so publicly furious at everyone these days in a way that allows him to speak freely, because he won this kind of fight feeling like he has honor and truth on his side.
It's been 3 years since Deflategate, and we are still haggling over the details of what happened. 3 years! Please, no more. But we have this book, 12, as he told you, and I find this account actually quite believable, because when you think about it, it makes perfect sense that Brady would turn down this deal. Either he knew, right, in which case he wouldn't want to lie and implicate these guys, because if that came out, gosh, that would damage his reputation, or he didn't know and he didn't want to lie and strike this plea bargain. In the end, I think when we look back at everything that happened, Brady made the right decision in doing nothing, because 4 games was not really a great cost as opposed to all of these greater risks to his reputation.
And you could read all those details and more in a new book called what, Papi?
12.
I mean, he did shorten it up, and he should have. That was smart of him right there.
Could it strengthen Colin Kaepernick's collusion case that Madden remove his name from the soundtrack?
So on the latest edition of Madden, there is a song called
Big Bank,
with a verse from the rapper Big Sean that name checks Colin Kaepernick, only it doesn't on this version, and apparently it didn't last year, which is a problem because the game maker has come out and said it was an accident. They thought they didn't have rights to him, although they had rights to him last year, so it's a little bit confusing. Now, it would be an easy thing to test if there were other songs, rap songs, that feature the names of other quarterbacks, but for some reason, Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco aren't in rap songs like Colin Kaepernick, so we have to believe them, which seems plausible that it was an honest mistake. It's also possible that they weren't trying to offend the many gamers who stand for the anthem before they play Madden. It's also possible, though, that they were trying to appease the NFL. And that's where it gets interesting. Because if the NFL actually told the game maker not to do this, if I'm Colin Kaepernick and I'm suing the league for collusion, it looks very suspicious that they don't want me featured on the biggest game.
And Big Sean was bothered by it, by the altering of his verses. He says you took this man out like he was one of the curses that you took out, because they do hide curses and edit for offensive material. And he's like, this is not a curse. This is a guy who is a gift. And I think another thing that is possible here, if you're not believing the spin or even if the truth is on the game maker's side, what is possible is that they don't want anything that smells like anything around their customers, whether it be curse words or controversies that touches the NFL. Whether the NFL tells them to do that or not, sometimes these marketing arrangements are such that you know not to bother your partner by doing things that would bother your partner.
I smell something fishy, very fishy.
What is it?
I demand an investigation. And I know the man that is ready to jump in and be the head of that investigation.
Yes.
You know who that person is?
You know who that person is?
Ted Wells! That's right. For $50 million, he'll wrap it up. He'll wrap it up for you. It's going to be a quickie one.
Just wrap it up.
That's right.
Quick one.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
And is this going to be another one of those warlock optical illusions?
That's kind of fun. She's already,
That can't be.
No, it looks fun.
Allie's mom knew she had a strong kick even back in the womb. And from then on, Allie was always kicking a ball and saying she was going to play pro soccer. And one day, while she was kicking a ball against a wall, her skills drew even more attention. Her boss said, "Could you please stop that and get me those quarterly numbers I asked for?" Turns out Allie just wasn't that good a talker. But she was a good accountant. That's why she switched to Geico. She knew they could save her a bunch of money on car insurance. And she sure wasn't ever going to make that pro soccer money. No, sir.
Time to play the game that sweats olive oil. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, we question them.
You don't understand it. I recognize it.
Do you question if Jose Flacco and RG3 are good teammates?
Oh, Lamar Jackson ended up in a situation last night where it was a lot of hype. He was bringing back football. He's an exciting player. We all want to see it. And then all we were talking about is RG3 looks swole, man. He's a Raven. Look at him. Look how big he is. Let's check out the first time Lamar Jackson got picked off. And that's not a good throw. That is going to get picked off a lot in the NFL. And there are his teammates. Well, one of them, one of them's a good teammate. I'm not sure it's the one in the back. I'm not sure it's the champion who had a big giant smile on his face.
Can we go back to Flacco there? Because...
Look at Flacco's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to steal my job that way? That's how you plan to steal my job?
Hey, Lamar, it's only the preseason. Don't worry about it. At least he didn't throw an interception in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Oh, there
really?
it is. Yes, good one.
Really?
Right there. The Colts.
Yes. I know that Lamar Jackson pass looked stupid, but this is stupid.
That's right.
This is stupid. Like this is, you don't throw it down there.
They were right to throw.
Just hand it
to
off.
Preserve their options on the remaining set of downs. I don't know how many times I have to explain this to
Marshawn
America.
Lynch was in their backfield. He's
Marshawn Lynch
impossible
has
to
not
tackle.
been successful at the goal line
Just
all
give it
season.
to him.
I
Just
can't
hand him
believe
the
we're doing
football.
this again.
Don't throw it.
Do you question if this should give Knicks fans hope?
The last time the Knicks fans had hope, you remember this? It's a funny, charming time. Phil Jackson was answering the door, and who was standing there? Joakim Noah. He wanted to play for a champion. And that turned out last year to cost the Knicks $18 million for 12 points worth of service. What do we have here? Oh, he's always looked. He's going to try and be a three-point shooter now.
This form looks pretty good. Needs a headband, but flyaways are really bothering me.
This guy was top 5 in MVP voting one year.
Well, that's it.
Wow, look at him. I'm telling you.
Wait, that's
There he goes.
that's the clip.
For a victory lap.
That's right.
He's going
2
for a
jump
victory
shots.
lap.
That's the
I'm
clip.
telling you, that guy's back. He's back. Joaquin is back.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not Joaquin, and it's not just 2 jump shots. It's also 2 jump shots and then running around without any injuries whatsoever. That is hope in New York, baby.
I'm telling you, that guy's had to try. Look at that.
Yes, look at that, too.
He can miss now.
Woo!
Well, he looks much better than last time we saw him.
Oh, that's
last time.
That's right. This time, yes. There it is. I mean,
Wow.
look, man, if I told you, what does someone look like? Not when they're a millionaire, when they've been living in the jungle off of berries for 6 months. That's what it looks like.
I think I just got a secondhand high from watching that.
Do you question if this qualifies as a magic trick?
We've got a woman here from New Jersey. Papa, you lived in New Jersey for a while. What do you remember about New Jersey?
Lot of snow. Lot of snow.
All right, that's all he remembers. That's positive enough. Let's check in with this barefoot skier.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Is this a magic trick? Right here is the question. And is this going to be another one of those Warlock optical illusions?
That's kind of fun. She's already,
That can't be.
No, it looks fun.
That looks fun.
She's,
Oh! Oh! That looks fun, Mina was just saying. As a woman who was going very fast forward, ended up going back very fast and high.
Now you see her, now you don't.
Yes.
I remember when we took you out for work skiing, the boat couldn't pull you, the rope broke, you know what I mean? All that weight, I'm telling you, it was tough. It was real tough.
Really? I don't need the cameraman laughter around here, okay? It's bad enough every day on national television. I don't need echoing laughter back there. I'm going to fire someone before the end of the show today.
Highly questionable this broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is pumped that he doesn't have to sit next to Dan for the next week. See or no?
I'm going to Africa. What did you say when I said you could come to Africa? He said, I like Pembroke Pines. It's better. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We tell you if we're intrigued.
Tonight on ESPN2, the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, Papi, it's Johnny Manziel time. You're curious. You're at least a little bit curious, right?
Oh, Juanito Football. I'm ready for him.
All right, we're all ready for it. But let's check in with a different scrambling quarterback. This right here is a man by the name of Kerwin Bell. The video sometimes takes a long time to get here from Canada. Here is Kerwin Bell, who played in 1988 at the University of Florida with the single least graceful celebration in the history of sports. There it is, right there. There is no way for more to have gone wrong on that play. Let's cover this again, real quick. Let's cover this again so you can just have all of this. First of all, you've got the cement-footed... No. Go back to the beginning, the very beginning. We'll get to this part later. The very beginning. Go to the cement-footed Kerwin Bell. What kind of scramble and how does this work? Look how slow this is. I'm going to celebrate it. Nobody can hit me. And then I'm going to bang, ouch, you pushed me. I injured a guy. There's a flag. I'm on my back. And they're playing it 30 years after it happened. Oh, and there's an added bonus. Number 13 then sits on his face. Mina, are you intrigued?
No. I'm glad I met my monthly quota of talking about Johnny Manziel, but no, I will not be watching CFL
I
tonight.
did not expect a Kerwin Bell highlight today. Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, all the experts are saying that Hamilton is going to win by 6.5 points. They are the favorite. But listen, Montreal, they got... Choo-choo! Juanito Football!
Right.
He's making his comeback.
Right.
Choo-choo!
Johnny Manziel,
that's right, buddy. I'm telling you. He's going to surprise everybody. I'm telling you, I got my money on Juanito Football.
All right.
Choo-choo!
Plus 6.5.
Wow.
Plus 6.5. Yeah.
What kind of train is this?
I don't know. It's one that's short-circuiting and getting tired and is old and breathless.
What is that?
Sunday morning on ESPN, E60.
Oh, my father's happy. He loves the Zlatan. We all do. We've fallen in love with this guy. He did an interview. Well, please stop whispering that. It's a bit creepy. Let's check in with this interview with the Zlatan.
In Hollywood,
Okay, what is
there's
that?
usually heroes and villains. What are you?
If you want me to be the bad guy, I'll be the bad guy. If you want me to be the good guy, I'll be the good guy. But I have no problem being both. Sometimes it's better to be the bad guy, because then you know really what the person think about you. Because when they say they like you, you don't know if they like you. But when they say they hate you, then you know they really hate you. But I make haters become my fan. That's my problem. So I need more haters.
That before the smile, that would have been a movie preview for an Assassin's film. Are you intrigued, Mina?
Can you teach me how to say Zlatan the way you say it?
Zlatan.
Okay.
Again.
Zlatan. You got to throw your shoulders
Again.
into it.
Zlatan.
Zlatan.
Again.
Zlatan.
Is that Mina being intrigued? Papi, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. This guy's a mean dude, buddy. I'm telling you, that guy. You better be careful if you say something wrong to that guy. You better leave town. Don't even stop to pack because he's really a tough one now. You know what I mean?
Don't even stop to pack.
Don't pack. Just leave in a hurry.
Just leave,
look at his eyes. They're bloody eyes. Look at you. He wants to suck all the blood out of your system.
I don't think that's what he wants to do at all, actually. You can keep everything in your blood system.
Really dark turn.
Sunday on E, very Cavallari.
I was holding this up already. Look, she thinks she's fast, but I was already there. He loves Jay Cutler. We all love watching Jay Cutler. Here's Jay Cutler showing up unannounced at his wife's store.
Yeah, see what they're up to. Who's there today?
Should be the whole crew.
Can I fire anybody?
If you feel it's necessary, go ahead.
I mean, I 100% feel it's necessary. I haven't even walked in yet.
Great. Okay, bye. Jay lives for the He lives to terrorize my employees, and he just gets a kick out of it.
Why is Jay here?
Jay's here?
Yes.
What's the word?
What's going on?
Boss is out of town, making sure you guys are staying in line.
Oh, Jesus.
Ladies, who do you think launched this empire?
Oh, yeah, you did used to fill this stuff.
Yeah, you're looking at them. Have you ever guys thought about doing a system?
There is a system.
There should be one person over here, one person here, one person with the envelope.
Now, what happens when someone orders something that has one from there and one from there?
That's why there's a person standing there and a person standing there. There's three of you in this room right now.
A Jay-free office is in the budget, I feel like, at this point.
I can't be a part of this anymore.
Have a good day.
I'll pass on to the boss how hard you guys are working. Except for you, Shannon.
I mean, that's about what you thought it would look like, isn't it? Mina, are you intrigued?
Yes, that's my favorite part. This rude, apathetic Jay Cutler. Oh, that's what he's like as a retired. That's what he's like as a player as well. Can you imagine being around him on a team? I love him so much.
Papi, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued. But listen, he didn't pay for that store. You know who paid for that store? The Miami Dolphins with the $10 million he stole from them. You know what I mean? Why is he getting so upset about people running the clock on him? He ran the clock on the Dolphins all season long, all season long.
All right. He's right.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
And thanks to Mina Kimes for spending the last half of the week with us. Enjoy the weekend.
We did it!
Mina. We did it.
Put it here.
Papi, no! Did she get you, Papi?
She got me. She got me this time.
I was gonna celebrate, but I like him too much.